Ever since the dawn of time, humans have been unable to recreate past masterpieces like Face Raiders and Sonic 06. What was the solution? Face Raiders 2. No. Remakes. We're currently living in a remake-focused economy. Now you're probably asking, Knight, what the fuck do you even mean by this? And just let me explain, young cracker. Have you noticed how many remakes are being made recently? I mean, this fucking video is about the Mario RPG remake. We got a Resident Evil 4 remake, and we're even getting a Persona 3 remake in February. And probably a couple thousand more in the future. Now, are all these remakes good? Fuck no. But before we talk about remakes, let's talk about this one. This game is 27 years old. That's really crazy to think about, and it's crazy how it's been this long without a remaster or remake, and thank God it got one because this game is pretty good and the remake is even better. Mario fucking dies. I lied, he's actually okay. But this was right after he got his ass kicked out of Bowser's castle from a big-ass sword that fell out of the sky. Don't ask why. But this sword in the process destroys the Star Road, eliminating the power of wishes from the world, and Mario had to find 7 stars to fix it. Man, I'm so fucking tired of the find 7 of X items and save the world tropes in RPGs. Now listen, I understand it's a Mario game, but that doesn't mean Mario can't have a good story. Have you played Mario and Luigi? They got fucking Black Bowser and shit. Square Enix with their massive team of people and endless ruples of money, and they gave Mario the copy and paste RPG story. As much as I'm bitching already about the story, this actually doesn't bring down the game. In fact, it strengthens it. Each star is pushing you towards your final goal and reminding you about it. A milestone at each turn. Square Enix has Mario and the entire cast at their disposal. Infinite amounts of charm and potential, and they have achieved it incredibly. Even the Square Enix original characters like Malo and Geno become instant classics. Especially Geno. Like, these motherfuckers won't stop asking him to be in Smash Brothers. They nailed the characters. I mean, they had to. That was their main selling point when Mario RPG came to fruition. If they didn't have Mario, then what did they have? And you can't say Geno. Mario starts his journey off visiting the Mushroom Kingdom to explain to the Chancellor what happened and meet Mallow. Mallow is a frog. Not actually. This is explained later. Mallow was robbed by a purple crocodile of his frog coins and... What the fuck am I reading? Mario and Mallow set off to retrieve them and return them to the frog stage. And this kickstarts the beginning of Mario's party. And then boom, the forest maze. You're probably wondering, what's so important about this maze? Well, stop asking questions and let me tell you, you little sexual deviant. Just listen. This song alone makes this entire game and level iconic. The power of music is no joke. And this is a delicate thing that a remake could either reinvent and perfect or absolutely fuck up the original and spin in its face. But the Mario RPG remake does a decent job at modernizing a classic, and even if you don't like it and prefer the original, they gave you an option to change it. This feature is absolutely genius, and the fact that it isn't in every remake is absolutely mind-boggling to me. You eventually meet Geno here, and he's actually a spirit from the Star Road who possesses some little boy's doll, which is kind of weird, but I'm gonna let it slide. Then you meet Bowser, who's trying to save Peach, who got kidnapped by a registered sex offender. And yeah, the game is pretty weird in general, but let's just keep going. He joins your party, and you save Princess Peach from getting married from the hobo, and you fight a living cake that just gets eaten 4 seconds later. Life is going pretty good so far, besides the small fact that there's still a giant fucking sword in Bowser's castle. Princess Peach joins the party as well, and I'm glad Square took this approach on not making the main driving force saving Peach, but rather the fact that wishes can't come true if they don't restore the Star Road. The entire gang ends up in the Nimbus Kingdom, where they find out Malo is actually the Prince of the Cloud Kingdom and is actually not a frog. Who would have thought? They go to the volcano, kill some gangbangers known as the Axum Raiders, and they grab the last star needed to reach the sword. They get there and fight the sword, but he actually isn't the final boss. You get sucked up by him and then transported to another fucking dimension. Mario and the gang eventually defeat the true final boss known as Smithy, and the game ends with Geno leaving to repair the Star Road. And that was a quick summary of Mario RPG. Now, is the game good? I don't know, depends on who you ask. You really gotta like RPGs to like this one, because there's no riveting plot to pull you through like other RPGs have. The combat is as basic as an RPG can get, and the new triple moves are cool, but it doesn't really revolutionize how you approach the game. This is a solid remake through and through, and they kept loyal to the source material in terms of gameplay and visual style. Nah, you already made a video on remasters already, you fucking bitch! Shut the fuck up, you racist! And let me explain! Remasters and remakes are completely different, and here's how I like to categorize them. Remasters are touch-ups on a game using the original engine and soundtrack with minimal changes. Now, remakes, on the other hand, are completely different beasts. They're rebuilding the entire game from scratch, and their goal is to imitate the original with modern knowledge and hardware. Now, remember the question I asked at the beginning? What makes a remaster good, and what makes a remaster bad? I lied, I never even asked this question. The first thing that jumps into my mind when I think of remakes is the Resident Evil series. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 remakes of classic games that aged like milk. Don't even lie to me, man. Look at this shit and tell me it looks fun.
Hear any gunfire.
Remakes like Resident Evil series are exactly what the fans want, and not just restoring an original game, but reimagining it. They didn't need to add a free camera, but they did, and this enhanced the gameplay tenfold. That Final Fantasy VII remake is looking absolutely crazy, and it's the epitome of remaking a game. Can't even tell these two are actually in the same universe from the large, humongous fucking difference these games are graphically and technically. I love seeing this shit, and it's basically an entirely new game, but ooh, I hear something. I hear a little bitch in the distance. Ooh, who could that be? Oh, it's fucking corporate greed. Last of Us remake for $70 fucking dollars is absolutely wild for a remake that wasn't even necessary. I remember seeing this reveal and everyone was flipping their shit over the price, and I mean for good reason at that. This shit got a PC port soon and it barely fucking worked, and it's to my memory probably the first shitty PlayStation launch they ever had. No, but seriously, Naughty Dog, $70 for a 9-year-old game is actually insane. And you know what game didn't do that? Surprisingly, Mario RPG. You know, Nintendo? Maybe I treated you too harshly, is what I would say if that wasn't their fucking industry standard. Nothing really pisses me off more when a remake tries and fails to emulate an old game soundtrack. Music is key to almost any form of entertainment or media, and once you fail in that aspect, you're losing a key tool to immerse your audience in the world that you created. A game that isn't a remake, but is a remaster, is Sonic Colors, where they somehow fucked up the entire soundtrack, and it feels like they did it on purpose. It's like they got someone to completely suck the soul out of every song that the team passionately created in the old release, and just released it like it was Lil Xan's next dog shit album. Just hear the difference. One feels like you're in a fucking EDM rave, and the other actually feels like you're exploring a beautiful alien planet. It's not just background noise, it's the pulse of the game, the rhythm that guides the players through the world. That feeling of playing the game and how you're experiencing it completely changes, and the remake of the game falls apart, which is why I appreciate Mario RPG for adding the option to keep the old soundtrack or play with the new one. I swear, these silly little Japanese people and their great ideas, I can never get enough of them. Shit, what else is there to talk about? A main function of remakes is improving the game graphically, which is hard to fuck up when you're remaking a 20-year-old game, but sometimes the attempt of superior graphics can butcher the original design and art style of the game, ruining its charm and feeling in any sense of character. The Pokemon remakes is a big culprit of this problem. When this game was first revealed, the 6 non-brain-dead Pokemon fans revolted, claiming it was butchering the original pixel art and the style that the game had, which is a criticism that I can see the Mario RPG having in the future by fans of the classic, which makes me think, why can't some of these old game remakes have a feature where you can swap the graphics like Dragon Quest did? But I don't know, as a game dev, I would be pretty pissed if people were using the old graphics instead of the ones I spent years on. I think the power of remakes lie in rekindling the far distant past with a bridge connecting it to modern storytelling and technology. Games that are dead from aging can be reimagined into something greater. I like remakes, and the fact that they can let the new generation experience cult classics on hardware they can actually have access to is nice. So keep on making them. But you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'll fuck you if that's the last thing I'll do. Alright, I have to beat this game and edit the video and make the script by Friday. You think I can do it?
Yep.